Oh, good. Let's talk about money. Leonard Leo, Koch networks pour millions into prep for potential second Trump administration. What does that mean for us? That the doomsday preppers on this app may have been right. Maybe. Just pause that thought for a second. I want you to take Trump out of this equation for a second, which I know is difficult because he's such a threat and all that, and obnoxious and all the things. But I want you to think less about it as these groups are supporting a presidential candidate, and more like presidential candidates are being supported by these groups who are manipulating the type of candidates that are running for the Republican Party. And that is because they have a plan. They have a plan called Project 2025, and you've likely heard of it. Maybe not, because it seems to be suppressed on many apps. It is a plan for presidential transition, and this is not just a pamphlet. It's a whole ass book. And it is one of the most detailed transition efforts that any political party has made in the history of ever, probably. It's going to overhaul every aspect of our government. It is the game plan for fascism, and they're not hiding it, which should scare you even more. That's how confident they are. They're literally publishing their game plan for you in real time, like 2022. Why are they so confident? Well, this dude, Leonard Leo, who has his network, has funneled more than $50 million into the transition project, is the same guy that's accomplished the far-right majority of our Supreme Court. He's the one who's captured our Supreme Court. And that wasn't just a happy accident. That was years and decades of planning. This man made a goal, and he accomplished that goal. And we've seen the outcome of that. We've seen what's happened with the cases that have been overturned by our Supreme Court. This is a man who doesn't lose. So for the people who say Project 2025 is fear-mongering, I invite you to explain this. Thanks. Now, the thing about Leonard Leo and Charles Koch and all of these conservative organizations is it's a little incestuous, right? They're all connected in some way. They have all of these like nonprofit spin-offs that maybe look like legitimate organizations, but in fact are far right conservative evangelical movements. And they all seem to be funded by the same three iterations of white rich guys. I know I have face blindness because everybody looks like these three guys. Like, you're telling me that this isn't Mike Johnson, this is Leonard Leo? Have they been seen in the same room? Because I'm not convinced. But what these mega donors all have in common, besides their looks, is the fact that they all want to implement this Project 2025, regardless of what candidate is in the office of the presidency, so long as it's a conservative Republican. So what can you at home, what can you do about it? Well, be aware that this moneyed interest exists and that they are putting so much money into getting these candidates elected, and that their plan to capture the Supreme Court worked. So if they are openly telling you what their plan is, you should believe them. And you should vote against that. You want to be a champion for human rights? Then go ahead and vote against the party that's actively voicing their desire for fascism. And then put all of your effort into getting state and local candidates with progressive ideals and goals elected. And so then they have mainstream support. And then once they have mainstream support, we can get them elected to the federal level. And once they're elected to the federal level, we can vote for things like eliminating corporate interests from our politics, term limits, any plot besides this. So let's go change the world. Because saving our nation from fascist Republicans is actually going to save everybody else in the world, too. So we're basically superheroes. Humor is a legitimate coping mechanism.